Hello everyone, my name is Joseph Bunning, and I hope that today has been a wonderful Sunday for you at the time of me making this. Today's video will be about Romans 8:28. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. This is an ESV, English Standard Version. So, what this verse is telling us is that as a Christian, unfortunately this is the case, sometimes life can be very difficult. Life can be very challenging, and we can have a lot of things that suck that happen in our life, and it can be very hard to believe this, but it is for our good. Because it says, and we know that for those who love God, so Christians, all things work together for good. So all things, right? All things. The good things, the bad things, whatever, all things. Everything will work for your good. So challenges in your life will work for your good. Because oftentimes a challenge will inspire you and uplift you and build you to be a better and stronger person. Or, something sad might happen in your life, but then that causes you to go out and find something better, right? So there's a lot of unfortunate things that can happen in our life that often happen for our good, and say if you get rejected, or if you are not able to get something, or if you try something and it doesn't work, or if something really bad happens to you, say like a loss, it's all gonna be for your good. And oftentimes you're not sorry. And oftentimes you won't find out at first. It may take a while, which is very frustrating, very relatable on that, but ultimately it is for our good. And when we realize that, and once we realize why it had to happen, it'll make so much sense, right? Because we will not always understand what God is trying to do, especially when we are hurt in some way and we just don't see why it had to happen, and we often will get frustrated, upset, disappointed, discouraged. It is for our good. And that is something that as a Christian you're going to have to remember, that even bad things are for your good. Rather you find out why the next day or in a decade, It can take a long time or it can happen pretty fast. It depends what it is. But ultimately, as it says, all things work for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. So all Christians will have to have things in life that are unfortunate, that cause pain, that don't work out for us, that rejects us. Things will happen as a Christian that knocks you down and makes life more difficult. But ultimately it will be for your good. And we are very blessed that God cares about us so much that instead of worrying about our short-term happiness, he's worried about our long-term success. Because in life, long-term success is a lot better than short-term happiness. Because long-term success brings you a lot more assurance, brings you a lot more safety and true, genuine happiness than going for short-term things and short-term pleasures. Because God is more worried about your long-term success than, say, if you're a little upset right now because you got rejected, So God cares about you very much. And sometimes you have to get hurt a little bit in order to then be led to something great. So if you get like rejected by someone, that might be because God has someone else who would be much better for you, and he sees that in your future you would be way better with this person. So instead of having you, so for example, like you walk up to someone and you ask to date them, and then they're like, no. That might initially hurt, but instead look at it as a blessing, right? Because God saw things that you weren't able to see. And if you would have gone with that person, life in the moment might have gotten better, but in long term, no. But God knew that there's someone else that you may not know yet, but someone else who is a lot better for you, and someone who will bring long term peace and happiness. He will bring that person to you when you're ready for it. So sometimes you might get rejected because it's for the greater good. Or say that like you lose your job. Initially that's gonna suck, right? Because well, I don't have a job anymore. But that can be because God saw that job wasn't fit for you and he wants to give you a much better one. So sometimes in life we might have something that happens that short term sucks, it's painful, it's sad, very frustrating. But long term, it will lead to something much better, and you'll be very thankful for it. So, I hope this video very much explained Romans 8:28 for you, and I hope that this encouraged you to either become a Christian or at least slowly creep into it, or help keep you in your faith and keep you strong in your faith. And I pray that this video is very successful for whoever you are who's watching, and I'm very grateful that you spent the time to watch this. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and may this be a wonderful day for you indeed. God bless.